Turning out the lights, the Columbia City Council seeks to extend the ban on bright moving signs.
A message for Roy Blunt and Claire McCaskill. These protesters want a better tax plan.
And an update in the search for the missing person in the Lake of the Ozarks. KOMU 8 News at 6 starts now.
KOMU 8 News at 6 starts with breaking news.
Police at the Lake of the Ozarks tonight continued their search in the lake for a missing person. Good evening, I'm Brittany Pieper.
And I'm Jim Rick. Thanks for joining us. KOMU 8's Eric Hilt is live at the lake with more details on this search. Eric?
Divers have been searching the Lake of the Ozarks behind me at the Ozark Yacht Club, and they found the body near the believed boat that was believed to belong to the missing individual at 5:15 this evening. Reporting live from the Lake of the Ozarks, Eric Hilt, KOMU 8 News.
And the weather today, well, we had a cloudy, gloomy, chilly morning, but the clouds disappeared and gave way to quite a bit of sunshine this afternoon. In fact, here we're looking at a mostly clear scan. More on a chilly forecast coming up for you on KOMU 8 News, first at 5.
Dave, thank you very much. The demonstrators gathered at the Bank of America in Columbia today wanting a better tax system.
KOMU 8's Alexis Rogers spoke with the group to see what they want done. Alexis?
Grassroots organizing, also known as GROW, and Americans for Tax Fairness want responses from Senators Roy Blunt and Claire McCaskill. We reached out to both Blunt and McCaskill's offices, but they have yet to respond.
The April ballot is just a few weeks away, and the push for the 911 sales tax is underway. Today, city and county officials explained that the 911 call center has not been upgraded for years while the population has grown. Proposition 1 imposes a new 3/8 of a cent sales tax in Boone County to fund emergency management and joint communications. The opposition also points out that it will put the sales tax above 8%. With an additional road sales tax the state is discussing, they say that could add up quickly. Voting day is April 2nd.
Tonight, the Columbia City Council could extend a moratorium on lighted window signs. Last October, the council issued a 6-month moratorium on flashing and blinking signs. If the City Council adopts the ordinance, it would prohibit any new electronic signs, period, regardless of location. The proposal warns of driver safety as the reason for the ban. The extension would last until September of 2013.
The Boonville Police Department is fighting back against illegal drugs on the street, synthetic cannabinoids and the stimulants known as K2 spice and bath salts. But the concern is the illegal chemical inside of those. About 30 law enforcement and school administrators met at Boonville City Hall today to hear a presentation about the drugs. In 2011, all synthetic drugs were found illegal at the state level, as were many stimulants like bath salts. At first, researchers thought the drugs were just a novelty and that their popularity would fade away, but many people are still using them.
It's not just law enforcement. It's not just a bunch of cops kicking indoors and seizing things. Every parent should be concerned. Every school administrator, every teacher, every school nurse, EMTs, paramedics, doctors. We should all be concerned about these substances because they're dangerous, they're here, and they're not going away.
The Columbia City Council will also look at the sales of synthetic drugs during a meeting tonight.
Change is on the way for drivers traveling near the Columbia Mall. A huge project will replace the Stadium Boulevard overpass, beginning with new paving for Bernadette Drive. The project is expected to be done by late 2014, creating the first diverging diamond interchange in mid-Missouri. There's already one in Springfield. MoDOT says the interchange can handle heavy amounts of traffic better than roundabouts. Lanes of Stadium near the overpass will occasionally close starting as early as tonight.
The city of O'Fallon is considering a bill that would declare any federal, state, or local laws prohibiting guns in violation of the U.S. and Missouri constitutions invalid. Sponsors say the bill aims to protect the rights of O'Fallon residents to bear arms. Opponents argue the bill would make the city pass an unconstitutional law. The bill could be subject to a vote from residents on March 28th.
A federal judge has struck down a Missouri health insurance law because it conflicts with a federal mandate to cover birth control at no additional cost. U.S. District Judge Audrey Fleisig says a provision in the U.S. Constitution goes above state laws. The Republican-led Missouri legislature enacted a law that was the first in the nation to challenge the Obama administration's contraception policy. The Missouri law requires insurers to issue policies without contraception coverage because of religious or moral beliefs.
Police in Rolla are investigating the death of a student at Missouri University of Science and Technology. KOLR-TV is reporting the student has been identified as 19-year-old Caitlin Brown of Mission, Kansas. The Rolla police chief confirms the sophomore was found dead about 2:30 in the morning Saturday in her dorm suite. And St. Louis police responded to an ambulance theft that was reported earlier this morning. The idling ambulance was reported stolen from outside Barnes Jewish Hospital. The ambulance was sitting outside the hospital for 15 minutes before paramedics realized it was missing. Authorities say the ambulance was from Illinois.
A helping hand for veterans across the country.
In this week's Sarah's Story, we see why one woman was recognized for an outstanding job.
And it looks like temperatures all week long are going to be well below average. Sorry about that. We'll check the forecast on KOMU 8 News at 6.
Now, your live Doppler 8 First Alert weather with Chief Weathercaster Dave Schmidt.
And a good evening to you. There you get a look at a nice clear sky for a change with our First Alert weather cam at Columbia Regional Airport. Nice to see the sun and the shadows it creates in that blue sky right above the horizon. Not so in some other portions of the country. We're looking at some wintertime still going on in the northern tier of states. 8-day forecast. Pretty darn chilly if you ask me. Here's our First Alert Weather IQ question brought to you by Break Time Convenience Stores, a division of MFA Oil. Large volcanic eruptions have what effect on temperatures at the surface? Increased, decreased, or have no effect?
I don't even have a guess on that.
I don't know. Something tells me you're supposed to say increase, but I think what it has to do is all the heat leaves that area and it goes up in the air, so it would decrease.
That's plausible, but it's actually the particulate cloud cover. It's actually decreased, though. You're right.
Oh, I had it right.
Because
but
of the cloud cover, streams out the sunshine.
Just the thought process was wrong.
There we go.
That's
all
right,
right, Dave.
You got the right answer.
Thank you.
A lifeline for veterans. See what prestigious award one Columbia woman was awarded in this week's Sarah's Story.
Recently, Job Point awarded a Columbia woman with an honor that she was not expecting. Melanie Bolton was honored for helping veterans.
In this week's Sarah's Story, former KOMU reporter and anchor Sarah Hill, who's now with Veterans United, has the story.
VA operator, how may I help you?
Don't give up, because there's other people out there who can help you see that. They can help you find your abilities.
Thank you, Melanie, and thank you, Sarah. Tigers tip off in the NCAA tournament Thursday.
Coming up in sports, we'll take a look at who has emerged as Mizzou's leader.
Now, from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU 8 Sports with Chris Gervino.
Hello, everyone. Missouri Tiger guard Phil Pressey is a second-team All-SEC player and 22 strikeouts, no walks. Thomas 7-1 so far this season. And that's sports.
Coming up on KOMU 8 News at 9 and 10, the dangerous bug that is spreading around the country has made its way to Missouri. What doctors are saying is impossible to treat.
And we'll have live coverage from Columbia City Council meeting tonight, where council members will discuss the sale of fake pot among teens.
Cool and windy this evening as those temperatures get down into the middle 30s, but high temperature at 47.
Yeah, tomorrow's the first day of spring, isn't it?
6:02 a.m.
Yeah, sure feels like.
Explain that one, Doppler Dave.